I think there were maybe one or two missed calls, but I think we just took a lot of outside shots. I don't know if necessarily there was a obvious foul from the inside that they didn't call. And we have to take that upon ourselves to try to drive and make contact and get the foul. So
people might look at this score in the paper online in the morning and see that y'all won by 13 points and think, run in the park.
Yeah.
But talk about how tough it was.
Yeah,
to keep battling back.
I think any SEC game, Arkansas, they're a good team. And we knew we came out, we made a run. They made a run. Basketball is a game of runs. But we knew we just needed to keep the lead, and that's what we did. We hung our hat on the defensive end. I think third quarter we kind of settled in too much, and that's when they came back. But then we got that fire up under us. Shots started falling, which kind of picked it up for us on the defensive end.
All right, one more thing. Haley only had maybe 1 point, but she had 10 rebounds.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
That's just Haley. She's taken on that role this year and has done tremendous. Mississippi State, I think she had 6 against those girls, and they're twice as tall as her. And that's just senior leadership from her, knowing that when she wants to score, she's going to have to go get those offensive rebounds. And she had 10. I didn't even know she had 10. I'm shocked.
That was the final, yeah.
And Mackenzie, obviously with Stephanie being out, Bianca and Mallory kind of had to step up into that role. How do you think they performed given the circumstances?
I think they did well. I think it's not hilarious, but Mallory comes in and plays 2 minutes and leaves with like 5 rebounds. Like, it's crazy, and I don't even think I average that. But I think, they've taken on that role. I think Mallory just has to get her lungs up under her, and I think Bianca does great when she's in. So just keeping their confidence high, especially Mallory, freshman, she's coming in, she'll get in and she gets really winded. So then Joni will pull her, or, she'll make a silly mistake. But I think, they perform well in practice, and you can see that on the court.
And, obviously they didn't perform well on the offensive end, or in terms of the end product with points. Do you think they kind of hindered the offense a little bit when they were on the court?
Yeah, I think, when more as the season comes in, when that second group comes in, we're not really missing much. I think, early on in the season when that second group came in, you could tell the difference. And so I think Bianca and Mallory did well of not letting up when Kalaya and I were out, if that makes sense.
You kind of talked about how you felt like you couldn't give up the lead, and they did pull within one a few different times.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like you were able to kind of hold them off and not?
I think just staying composed, knowing that in order to keep the lead, we have to make defensive stops. And then they were missing shots and we were making shots. So I think a teeny-weeny part of us got lucky because they were missing a lot of wide open shots, especially threes. But we also knew, defensively we had to turn it around and then offensively get the ball inside more.
I believe this is your second 20-point game of the season, so you obviously were very comfortable scoring tonight. What was working well for you out there?
I was actually very frustrated. I didn't think I was shooting well until I looked up and actually saw that I had a lot of points. So I was very frustrated with myself, and I was like, I'm not doing too bad. So I think once I saw that, I kind of relaxed and took the pressure off of myself. And then I just took whatever shots I felt comfortable. Some I shouldn't have taken that I took anyways, but that's just the game.
Arkansas was ranked second in the SEC for three-pointers made per game. So with that in mind, was there any defensive strategy heading into the game?
Yeah, definitely. We knew who our shooters were and who we could and couldn't help off of. And that was a big point of emphasis for us, is to not let them get going from the outside. I think there was a moment where they did. And then that's when Joni called the timeout. We had to regroup and know, okay, you can't help off of her. She's getting too open. That was definitely a big point for us, yes.